Those who dwell in the unknown regions have long whispered legends of the Knights of Ren. This band of marauders was said to have burned their way across worlds, consuming everything in their path. In recent years, an enclave of warriors stepped from the darkness to claim that name, and the fear it instilled as their own. The Knights of Ren were a mysterious group of Force-sensitive outlaws heeding to the philosophical ways of the Ren. Before pledging their allegiance to Kylo Ren, the Knights traveled from planet to planet with the sole intent of creating unrest and instability throughout the galaxy. They were a violent and merciless gang committed to serving the dark side of the Force and ensuring its prevalence with or without the presence of the Sith. Throughout their history, the Masked Warriors had encounters with many iconic people and groups around the galaxy. From a run-in with Crimson Dawn, to temporary alliances with Darth Sidious and Snoke, all the way to a battle against Luke Skywalker himself, the Knights of Ren got around. But their leader during these times could only take them so far. And on one dark, tragic night, the universe would gift them with a much more powerful ally. One who would take them to heights they had never been before. When Ben Solo fled Luke Skywalker's training temple in an attempt to get away from his fellow Jedi students, who refused to believe what Ben had told them about the temple's destruction, he eventually came into contact with the Knights of Ren, a group he had met before when out on an exploration with his master, Luke Skywalker. It would be here in this encounter that Ben Solo would draw blood for the first time, slaying the leader of the Knights of Ren for murdering his Jedi friend, and then also proceeding to kill the only remaining Jedi apprentice, who despite Ben's attempts to keep her out of this affair, continued to press him, accusing him of murdering Luke Skywalker and the other Jedi students. With nowhere left to go, the fallen Jedi would then claim his title as the Master of the Knights of Ren. With the other Jedi Padawans presumably murdered from the shadows by what was left of the recovering Darth Sidious, and Luke Skywalker having fled into exile, there was no one to stand in Kylo Ren's way. And so, with his new apprentice at his side, Supreme Leader Snoke would assume command of the First Order, and this new faction would take the galaxy by storm. The situation for the Knights of Ren, however, did not mirror that of their new leader. While Kylo Ren went on to command the First Order and eventually take his master's place as Supreme Leader, the Knights of Ren remained largely uninvolved with the First Order. In fact, they did not claim to be a part of the Order at all, nor did they associate themselves with that regime. Instead, they continued to roam the galaxy, enforcing Kylo Ren's wishes while they were away, and assisting him on the battlefield when the group came back together. In doing this, they obviously do aid the First Order, but when it comes down to it, the Knights of Ren do not answer to anyone but Kylo. With the heir to Darth Vader at the helm, the Knights became stronger than they had ever been before. With him, they were virtually unstoppable. As previously mentioned, the Knights of Ren were all Force-sensitive. This was a requirement for anyone who joined their ranks. Although they were not trained in the ways of the Jedi or the Sith, and their skills were nowhere near the level of said warriors, the Knights of Ren were still formidable opponents. They fought with specialized weapons, which matched the unique skill sets of each individual. They were well versed in combat. They did not show mercy to any opponent, and by this time they had bared witness to the untamed power of the mighty Kylo Ren, further enhancing their experience with the dark side of the Force. Loyalty is an interesting concept with the Knights of Ren. On one hand, they are committed to one another. They will fight tooth and nail to protect each other, and that gives them strength. But remember, these are dark side worshippers. They are not good people. Loyalty and honor only mean so much to a people who pride themselves on a concept that is inherently selfish and evil. They support each other so long as it fits their agenda, which is fair enough. We see this as they stand with Kylo Ren throughout much of the Rise of Skywalker despite Palpatine's re-emergence. Their loyalties lie with their master, as Kylo Ren earned his place atop their ranks, and he appears primed to soon lead the Sith. But the important piece to keep in mind here is that their support for one another is not unconditional. If you are a part of their group, they don't support you because they love you. They don't fight with you because they care about the person you are. They stand with you because of what you mean to their group and because of what your presence can do for them. And with that being said, we come around to the end of episode 9, when Ben Solo returns and arrives on Exegol to save Rey and to confront Darth Sidious. And this particular topic is something that I have made a video on before, but I wanted to dig a little deeper into this topic between Ben Solo and the Knights of Ren in this video. So the Knights of Ren are loyal to Kylo, yes, but Ben Solo and Kylo Ren are not the same. Same face, sure, but they hold two polar opposite ideals. One of those ideals aligns with the Knights of Ren, and the other directly opposes it. Now, it is written that when Ben Solo first encounters the Knights of Ren, he thinks that they might be there to support him. But then he senses their anger toward him, and he realizes that's not the case. He understands that they are there to kill him. And this sort of speaks to the idea that Ben may have viewed their relationship differently than they did. It seems like he may have viewed them more as friends and companions than they did him. But regardless, they turn against him. At least that's how we see it. However, from their point of view, Ben Solo has betrayed them. And in doing so, he has proven himself too weak to be their leader. The Knights of Ren believe that the dark side is stronger than the light. And following that logic, they also believe that Ben Solo is significantly weaker than Kylo Ren. Now, we know that's not the case. It's very clear that, particularly in the case of Ben Solo, the light side of the Force makes him stronger than he ever was with the dark. But the Knights don't believe that, and this is why they ambush him in this way. They know that Kylo Ren would defeat them. They've experienced that, and they've witnessed his power firsthand. But they believe that in this perceived state of weakness, they can take Ben Solo down. So coming back to the whole concept of honor and loyalty, the Knights of Ren seem to be loyal to their master so long as he is alive. We have seen this twice. They were loyal to their former master before Ben Solo killed him, but that kill made Ben worthy of becoming their new leader if he wanted to. And then we see it again with Kylo Ren, as they help him in a plot to turn Rey to his side and eventually destroy Palpatine. But again, Kylo Ren and Ben Solo are not the same. The rebirth of Ben Solo marks the death of Kylo Ren, and this is something we have gotten into many different times from many different points of view. We've talked about how Rey stabbing Kylo marks the death of Kylo Ren, and how Ben throwing his lightsaber into the ocean marks his acceptance of that death. In the movie, Han says, "Kylo Ren is dead, my son is alive." And that holds true for everyone, from Ben Solo himself all the way to the Knights of Ren. Ultimately, they are the same people, of course, but in Ben's heart and in the minds of the few who really know him, they are different, and that makes all the difference. That's also not to mention the fact that, as previously stated, the Knights of Ren had prior relations with Palpatine, and as is the case with what seems like nearly every facet of Ben Solo's life, Palpatine had a plan for them too, or at least a contingency plan, should Kylo slip up as his grandfather did. And now with that being said, I am going to wrap this video up here, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments section below. If you enjoyed, please remember to drop a thumbs up to support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and of course, may the Force be with you always.